Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Richard here, the creator of the Top Hat Gaming Man, and it is Christmas Eve today, so we are going to be discussing 12 insane games that changed Christmas for two reasons. Firstly, obviously, because it's very clickbaity Christmas content. Secondly, because we've got a lot of different games to discuss. So, has anyone got anything to say before we move on?
These games have to be good, or could they be games that ruined Christmas?
Well, I just said games what changed Christmas, so if you're interpreting that title as change Christmas for the worst, then you can go ahead. But I will start this out so we can get straight on with it. First game that changed Christmas for me was Donkey Kong Country on the Super Nintendo.
Why did that change Christmas?
Because the graphical leap was insane, just like my video title. So I'd never seen anything like it.
No one's going to understand that reference.
I know that was a stupid reference, but yeah, it was just far above anything I'd ever seen, and the gameplay was excellent to top it off. So it changed gaming and changed Christmas for me.
Really, that good?
Oh, I agree. I agree with Rich, like 100%. Like Donkey Kong Country, like I spent a lot of my time at that period playing Super Mario World on the SNES, which is a brilliant game. Yeah. One of my favourite games of all time. And I distinctly remember being blown away by Donkey Kong Country when I put that in for the first time and saw the graphical differences between the two.
Silicon graphics, that's what it's all about. And it's such a good game because it's a made in Britain. It's a British game.
I was literally going to say
British ingenuity.
100% British reared.
Yes,
with
indeed.
Rare.
So, who wants to go next?
I'll go next. I'm going to start off with the most known of the ones that I'm going to be talking about today.
Go for it.
And I'm going to talk about Borderlands 1 for the Xbox 360. So that would have been 2011, 10 maybe around then. So it wasn't that long ago. But it changed Christmas for me because I really didn't do much console multiplayer gaming before that point.
Yeah.
It wasn't really something I overly enjoyed that much. Like I dabbled a little bit in COD, but on other people's accounts. I didn't really do it for myself. Got Borderlands, and I love the visual style, but all my friends got a copy of Borderlands at the same Christmas time. So on Christmas Day, there was a group of 4 of us partied up, each with specific roles, playing Borderlands, and it changed Christmas because it was like, oh, console multiplayer, this is awesome.
Yeah, that is pretty cool because usually over Christmas you're just isolated with family members and you can't get near your friends. So I suppose that was the first time you could play games with friends on Christmas rather than just family. So that did change Christmas.
And we all had headsets, so we were all talking to each other. So we were spending Christmas Day together, just on Pandora.
Great.
Instead of, around a table or something.
Street or right, who's going next?
Probably Crash Team Racing was probably one. I think probably didn't get it for a while after, obviously, the PlayStation came out, but I literally, my friend came over and we played it to death, literally. I think I played it all Christmas Day, but then throughout the festive period, my friend Jeff at the time came over and I probably played it for like years.
Had you played Mario Kart 64 previously?
Yeah. But I just, even now, I'd probably say it's probably my favourite PS1 game. Still, like, hands up. I absolutely love it.
What do you think separates it from Mario Kart?
Well, I don't know, because it wasn't really, I was never one that was really that overly struck on graphics. Like, I would never be like, I'd always look at a game and think, whoa, graphics, that is cool. Like, this is the pinnacle of graphics now. Like, you always think it's never going to get better. But, I don't know. I think I was so obsessed with Crash Bandicoot anyway, like 1 and 2. I loved that. The concept of it was a cool idea, but it just played so nice. Everything about it was responsive and good, and obviously it had up to 4 players.
So everything.
I can't really tell you
why. Did you play with family members that day? Your brother or anything?
No, because my brother's too young. We're 5 years apart, so we never really started doing anything together until he was 17, 18, a lot older. Because he was never really into playing any games. He even when he got the N64 for Christmas, I ended up playing it most of the time and playing No Mercy and WrestleMania. But yeah, no, I just love Crash Team Racing.
Cool.
It's funny what you say about kart races because my cousins for Christmas got a copy of Diddy Kong Racing, the N64, and we played that on Christmas around the sort of festive period together. 3 of us it was, and that blew me away.
I didn't really start enjoying Diddy Kong Racing until I was older. It was weird. I don't know whether because I was too inept up here to get the concept of it, because it seemed like it was more difficult than Mario Kart 64 at the time. Like, obviously I was only a kid, but I never really enjoyed it.
It's an extra plane to explore.
Yeah, I don't know. It was really
Mario Kart 64 was always my kart racing game. I had a lot of fun with Diddy Kong Racing later on, that year or the year after, whenever it came out. What about you, Street? What's your game?
I'm going to say my game for Christmas, probably Final Fantasy X, because I played 7, 8 and 9 before that. Really enjoyed 7, and didn't like 8. Really enjoyed 9, and then when 10 came out and I played that, I realised it was better than all of them, and nobody believes me.
But there was a big graphical leap. I'll give you that.
It was
huge
amazing.
Can I
graphical
ask
leap.
a weird question?
Go.
You said like in between that you didn't like this one.
I didn't like 8. No.
I'm the kind of person that if one game is bad, I stop playing it because I was obsessed with SmackDown. I played the SmackDown games, and then as soon as I got the bad one, which I think came after Here Comes the Pain, I think that's that when it changed to SmackDown vs Raw. I haven't played a game since.
I played them out of order. So I
And
played
fine.
7 first, then 9, then 8. And then I was like, well, if 9 was good, then I could.
Obviously, you're not an RPG man, but the reason why Final Fantasy is different is because every game in the series is different. Different story, different characters, different graphical styles. There's nothing
Even
stays the
different
same.
gameplay.
I think it,
it changes up.
So that would be why. So
Yeah.
I will go next. The fifth game out of our 12 we're going to be discussing. Next for me, I'm going to say a really important game in all of gaming history, Mario 64. I'd never, ever played anything like it up until that point. Like, it blew my mind, the camera angles, running around in a 3D environment. It was just like nothing I played before, and it really did change gaming for me. And many games that followed it was following its footsteps, I suppose.
I mean, Mario 64's got one of the all-time classic soundtracks. It was one of the first 3D platformers that really brought to the table what they could offer at that point in time. I even remember being blown away around that sort of time of being able to grab Mario's nose on the start screen and then being able to like twiddle it around and stuff like that. Mario 64 is one of the all-time classics.
This is how good, especially it was. I can even remember from that Christmas day of, I got it in 1997, I think. And I remember that day, my great aunt coming over with some more Christmas presents with pencil cases and stuff, and being a bit down, I had to pause Mario 64 to open the presents I was being given because I just wanted to carry on.
Did you say
playing
pencil
again.
cases?
Yeah.
I would be disappointed if I... So, stop playing Mario 64 for a second. Here's a pencil case for you to open.
Unless there was a game in the pencil.
Yeah. It's like,
I'm pretty sure everyone at home has these similar.
And you played so much Mario 64 that you can actually do all 120 stars in one night.
We won't talk about that today. It's Christmas. Let's not get me down. Game number 6, please.
Game number 6. Left field choice here. Not as left field, my last choice. Right, the last one I've got. But This Is Football 2002.
Oh, God,
I rate it.
So that's an insane game that changed Christmas.
It did
His
for me.
personal Christmas, not your Christmas.
It didn't change your Christmas, changed my Christmas.
That would have ruined his
didn't.
Christmas if he got it.
No, right, so This Is Football 2002, I think was awesome because it come around the time that FIFA obviously was dominating the football games market. But This Is Football come out and me and my cousin really loved the original one, but it was just a bit pony. 2002 come out, which was one of the launch titles I think for the PS2, or certainly come out close around that sort of time. And it had amazing features like a dedicated dive button, a hack button, but you could also do this amazing thing where you could start your career in the schools football leagues, create a club that played at schools,
I
and
used to
then
love that.
they would graduate up and play real leagues and
The
stuff
disgust
like
in his
that.
face.
And it was honestly like I had so much fun for months with that mode. And it started on that Christmas day when I got This Is Football 2002 with Rio Ferdinand on the front cover. And honestly, that changed football games for
So
me.
if this game did change things, why has the This Is Football brand disappeared into obscurity but FIFA's carried on? What's happened there?
Because EA Sports.
Money.
Yeah.
I don't really know. It probably was. It was probably one of the bit more nichey games, wasn't it? That you had to. If you didn't hear of it, you kind of didn't.
Is it a case of FIFA holding the license to all the official players' names? And
Yeah,
stuff,
and that.
maybe?
Yeah, pretty much. Almost definitely.
I think the best feature of that game, like you said, if it didn't have the school league career mode, it probably would have been dead because you wouldn't play it like normally. Because, like I said, I think it didn't have the licenses for any teams. And
It had the names, but it didn't have like the licenses
It didn't
for
have
kits
badges,
or
yeah, it didn't
stuff
have-
like
yeah.
that, which has always been EA's big like draw to for all of their sports titles.
Yeah.
But that's why it changed Christmas for me. I had so much fun with that game, and it was awesome. And no one ever talks about like sports games.
Fair enough. Ryan?
I'm a bit torn between two, but I'm going to go for Tekken Tag for PS2.
Tekken Tag, that's very interesting because later on this week, I'm releasing a video on Street Fighter EX3, cheap plug, the game that competed directly with Tekken Tag and failed.
Purely
Of course it
coincidental.
did. Of course
So,
it did.
tell us why you like
Game
Tekken
Man
Tag
has
so
come
much.
for a visit.
Yeah.
It was just Tekken and more. I
Best
can't.
version
Yeah.
of Tekken ever.
and more.
Tekken 2.
say.
Tekken 2 was awesome. Tekken 3 was brilliant. And then obviously going from the PS1 to 2 obviously the graphics were so much at the time. Obviously, the graphics were so much smoother. Everything looked amazing for the time. At the time, not for the time. And it was just better in every way. And I played that to death all the time as well.
I would go as far as to say it's the best Tekken
Yeah,
ever released.
it's the best thing. I'd say it's one of my favourite.
Can we acknowledge just for a second though that the tag formula was stolen directly from Capcom's Versatility?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. What isn't stolen from anything though?
Yep.
Just generally, the gameplay of Tekken Tag was brilliant because it was Tekken but better.
Yeah,
bigger.
Looks great, plays great.
I can't really say anything. I mean, the thing is, for me, like I'm massively into fighting games, so good fighting games.
And Tekken Tag as well, to be fair to it, is one of the few good games that was available on the PS2 for many years in its diabolical first year of existence.
Yeah, I mean, I just I'm a massive, because you guys obviously talk about RPGs a lot, so I've never been interested in them. I just always love fighting games, and that for me is probably my favourite fighting game. If I had to play one, it's probably my favourite. I just loved everything about it, really.
They hold your particular attention better.
Yeah, they're just awesome.
Anyway, on to Street.
It's a hard one because it's a series of games that changed many Christmases for me. But I'm going to go with probably Pokemon Gold because it's one that I know that I got for Christmas.
That was a game that changed my Christmas as well, to be fair. But
yeah. Well, is it one?
No, I'm not going to use it.
Okay,
Not one I'm using.
okay.
But
Yeah, Pokemon Gold, and the reason why is because over the Christmas period, from kind of Christmas to New Year's, I used to spend a lot of my time driving between different family members, like in the back of my mum and dad's car, going to see people. And this was the first time that I really got into handhelds, and it stopped me from just having to try and force myself to sleep throughout these long journeys that I'd have to go going from place to place. And it kept me really engaged and interested for incredibly long periods of time.
But early Pokemon games are the most addictive games I've ever played. Still to this day, I've never found anything like it. It's literally like crack for 10-year-olds.
Yes,
amazing.
Yeah. Well, again, we've spoken about it so many times before, but it was one of the reasons why the Game Boy sold so well.
Or even handhelds were so popular for so long as well. You could put Pokemon solely responsible for that. So moving on to game number 9, I'm going to go over another game which took a huge graphical leap forward and continued to shape gaming as a whole, and that is Shenmue for the Dreamcast. That was a really special game for me.
God, everyone goes on about that.
Yeah, it's a popular choice, I think, when talking about great games. I will say that you've said on multiple occasions that graphics don't make games, yet you've chosen 2 games in your list
All three actually. Donkey Kong Country, Mario 64,
yeah,
and Shenmue.
So all 3 of your games were based on the fact that the graphics were so good that they blew your mind.
But it wasn't just the graphics, it was the mechanics of the game. Not so much with Donkey Kong Country, but with the latter 2, it was the additional mechanics more than the graphics. So as good as they looked, it was the gameplay styles they introduced, which was new, modernised and changed everything. Like I've said it before on this channel, I imagine, but Shenmue was so ahead of its time that I personally do not think a game as impressive as that came out on the PlayStation 2 in its entire decade plus long existence, and it came out before there even was a PlayStation 2, I believe, or at least at the beginning of its lifespan.
Yeah,
it was a huge leap forward, and it was the most expensive game ever made. And if you take inflation into account, the only game that's ever been made that's more expensive since GTA 5. So Sega put everything into that game, and it sold terribly, but if you was one of the people who picked it up, you got a special experience.
So that coupled with the Dreamcast is the reason that Sega don't make consoles anymore.
They spent money on the wrong things, clearly. Innovation doesn't equal money.
Yeah. Oh, just talking about graphics again really, really quickly. I suppose that also kind of, you're talking about your childhood Christmases, and graphics seem to appeal more to children.
Yeah, that's true. Graphics are more important to children, but back then the graphical leaps were noticeable. The gameplay mechanical changes were noticeable. Whereas now, we've not really had a graphical paradigm shift in many years. We get slightly shinier looking things, more HD, more 4K, but we don't actually get any improvements in the graphics.
It's got to get
themselves.
to a point though, isn't it? There's gonna, because like, you know, when 4K telly came out, then you were like, oh god, it can't get any better. 8K, fucking 400K.
Well, you kind of knew that was coming, though, didn't you?
I know, but it's just like you said, when you're a kid, everything seems so much more impressive.
Yeah.
Like I remember going from SmackDown 2 to SmackDown 3, and when I saw the trailers for SmackDown 3, I was like, oh my god, that looks amazing. Nothing can ever get better than that. Yeah. And then now look at games.
Shenmue was so impressive at the time. I remember my granddad coming into the room, watching me playing, scratching his head, going, "That doesn't look like a game." It just doesn't. No, that's not what you think of when you think of a video game. At the time, Shenmue was so different; it didn't look like a game.
He's expecting to see asteroids or something.
Exactly. It doesn't look anything like Asteroids, does it? Let's be
No,
honest.
no.
You could play games in an arcade within the game. That's how much we've moved on.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
So, who's next? You? Orb?
My final choice is, like I said, it's a bit of a left field one, even more so than this is football.
Are you trolling at this point?
I'm not trolling, because it's genuinely changed my Christmas, and, like, it was just a funny story. It's Real Fishing for the PlayStation 1. Real Fishing.
Why?
So, for Christmas when I was a kid, I come from, shall we say, a less economically well-off family. My father procured me a chipped PlayStation 1. I didn't have one before then, and with it I got a whole host of games. Got like FIFA 99 and all sorts of awesomeness. But one of the games I got was a game called Real Fishing, right? Now, Real Fishing was, and I was into fishing at the time as a child, and it was it was a really good fishing game that was released. And I just remember it was all about selecting different areas to go through and the right baits, and it was all like photo-realistic, as close as they could get.
See, I can actually sympathise with you a little bit, because I went out of my way when I was a child to go to Macros to pick up a fishing game for the Game Boy Color.
Right, so there you go.
I can see the appeal of fishing games.
So Dad got it, and he was like, make sure he got this game, because he likes his fishing, so we made sure he got this game. Dad knows nothing about computering.
So how much like versatility can a fishing game have anyway?
Not much. Yeah. Not much.
There's many types of fish.
So. Yeah, there is many types of fish, and you get to put them in a tank afterwards.
Or are you just trolling and you're fishing?
Oh, fishing for comments from the retro community. No, so I got it, but unbeknownst to me, I didn't know it was supposed to be in colour, because the copy I had was black and white. Yeah. So I played this entire game in black and white, and it was like, okay, I guess this is just the style they've gone for. This is weird. As a child, I then grew up when I become 17, 18, playing a PlayStation 3.
You only grew up at 17, 18?
Carry on. No, I was a child until I got 18, and then I was suddenly, oh no, I have a beard. No, I think I was about 17. And then on PlayStation 3, I was flicking through the store, and I saw Real Fishing was advertised, and I was like, what? Real Fishing?
Nostalgia.
Yeah, I was like, I'm buying it. It was like £6. I bought it, loaded up, it was in colour. Wow. And my mind was like, I was like, what is all this colour? I played for it again, just because it had colour this time, and it was like, it just blew me away. So yeah, Real Fishing.
But was it that crap?
No, it wasn't crap, it was good. It was very good.
Good, I'm glad it reeled you in.
Just fishing puns?
Yeah. He's not just going to say it for the halibut.
Oh, God.
I'm glad you took the bait.
Any more?
No. No more.
I'm not trying.
Okay, so game number 10, Ryan.
Mortal Kombat 3 for the Sega Mega Drive. I got the Sega Mega Drive for a Christmas with Mortal Kombat 3 and a copy of Mega Games 6, which had Streets of Rage, Sonic on it. I played them a lot. But Mortal Kombat 3 was out of the blue for me, and with all the fatalities and all that sort of stuff, it reeled me in, and I became a massive Mortal Kombat mark for the rest of my life. Basically.
See, I
played it. Go on.
As a man of peace, I've never liked the series.
Why?
I just said I'm a man of peace.
Peas?
No seriousness. The reason why I don't like the game is because I've always felt like it's not very good gameplay-wise and literally relies on flashy, gimmicky fatalities to make sure you go, ooh, that's edgy.
Like you at wrestling.
Buy it.
Graphics.
They do fatalities.
I agree with. I'd maybe agree with you about Mortal Kombat 1, because Mortal Kombat 1 isn't that tight gameplay-wise.
No, but you've got to remember, right? We're talking about what made our Christmas good at the time. So you could play a game, you could have a massive nostalgia trip for a game you played at Christmas time, and then go back to it now and it'd be a pile of shit. But what I'm saying is,
sorry, I love his thoughts, the way he does it. What? That's stupid. Your Christmas was stupid. My Christmas isn't good.
It's true.
That's the way he's doing.
That's what the comments are like, isn't it?
Yeah,
You're in
I'm the comment section, basically.
Yeah, thanks.
You like Mortal Kombat 3 for Christmas? Pathetic. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, at the time, a game can be special to you. You know, I played many games over Christmases that were special to me, but are crap now. I mean, honourable mention, I played the SmackDown series, probably from SmackDown 2 all the way up to Here Comes the Pain. Every year I got that game for Christmas, and I was so excited for it every year, until the one after SmackDown Here Comes the Pain came out. It was crap, and I never played it again. But SmackDown 2 at the time, I played that so much, and I bought the PlayStation downstairs for Christmas Day. Got annoyed when I had to have Christmas dinner because I just wanted to play the game constantly. But obviously, played it now. It's not very good. So you have these memories. A lot of them are happy childhood memories. I get in the Sega Mega Drive, getting Mortal Kombat 3, and I have fond memories of it because that was the only time really my dad and mum would ever play console games with me. They'd play Mortal Kombat with me. And then once you grow up, you play by yourself in that, didn't you? I've just got very fond memories of the Mega Drive, Streets of Rage, Mortal Kombat 3.
To be fair, the only reason I poked fun at Mortal Kombat because people get annoyed with me sometimes in the comment section because they know I don't like Mortal Kombat and they're angry that I don't like it.
You're not allowed to have an opinion.
No, you're not allowed an opinion on the
Can't have an
internet. That's why I like giving my opinion sometimes.
It was really weird because actually my mum and dad must have not known what they were getting me. It just randomly got. I didn't ask. The weird thing was when I got the Sega Mega Drive, I didn't ask for it. It was just a Christmas present. I didn't ask for Mortal Kombat 3, so God knows where they were like shopping. What should I get my 8-year-old child for Christmas? Mortal Kombat 3. This is brilliant. So I got that, and it took me a little while to work out that obviously there was fatalities in there because the computer would do them on me because you have to press about 6,000 buttons to actually do one, and you can't do that when you're 8. And you didn't have the internet back then, so you had to actually buy a cheat book with it all in and that. But massive fun memories of it. And like I said, I'm not really talking about games that were necessarily brilliant, but these games changed my Christmas in terms of they made it exciting for me.
And that's what we're talking about. So finally, on to Luke Street. This is the last one, so it better be a good one.
Oh, pressure.
Quack.
What?
No one talks about Quack.
No one does talk about Quack, and I'm not going to either. My last game that I think really changed my Christmas was probably... I got Pokemon Snap. I loved Pokemon Snap so much, and everyone's going to be like, you fucking child in the comment section. I can see it. But I was a child at this point.
Maybe they'll just say Snap.
Maybe.
I got Pokemon Snap for Christmas too, but I got it a year before it came out in England because I was spoiled. So my mother bought me a copy of Pokemon Snap, wherever it is, with that. So that allowed me to play American games on my Nintendo 64.
Very nice.
That's my bit of showing off done. Talking about Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon Snap was I got the Pikachu Nintendo 64, the Roman Reigns one. I love it. It's amazing. So I got Pokemon Snap, and it really was amazing. And it gave me so much time to sit in the quiet and peace and play with myself.
That's fair enough. Did you not think it was a bit short?
Can't do that, isn't it?
No, because it had so much replayability, because you could go back and do everything.
I never played Pokemon Snap, but I did love Pokemon Stadium. I played that loads.
Best on-rail shooter of all time.
Yeah, it is best on-rail shooter of all time, Pokemon Snap. Hands down.
Better than Time Crisis, House of the Dead.
Yep.
Can we talk about...
Just before we talk about that, actually, I do want to say something, because obviously we had a conversation on stream the other night about Pokemon Snap, and I want a Pokemon Snap VR game. Do you not think... I mean, you don't like VR. You don't like VR. But could you imagine a Pokemon Snap VR game? Or maybe on the Switch with the little cardboard...
We'll probably get one, but the problem is with Nintendo... they don't use new technology. They wait for it to be of a certain age, and then they pretend they invented it.
Yeah,
so Nintendo will start using VR 10 years from now, and then people will be like, "Oh, Nintendo invented VR," and everyone will like it, and that's what will happen.
But didn't they kind of do that with the thing?
Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
We'll forget about the Virtual Boy.
It doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't.
Except for the few little clips you have on your channel.
Yeah, it doesn't exist according to Nintendo.
But yeah, so next Christmas, I want my next Christmas to be changed by the game Pokemon Snap 2 VR. That's what I want.
Good. So, that was 12 games for us, what shaped and changed our Christmas. In fact, 12 insane games that changed our Christmas. What we would like to know now is down in the comments section below, your games that changed and shaped Christmas for you. Which titles had the most impact on your short little lives?
Why are you saying that when most of the audience is older than you?
Because we are human. All of our lifespans are very short.
Okay.
Well, Richard's slowly turning into the light child over.
It's true though, isn't it? Yeah. We're all going to die. Sorry about that.
On